Evening to every single one of you are watching right now. We're talking about a Daily Fix, a podcast, and of course, it's Mass Manners behind the scene. Not forgetting me, Uncle Ram, Uncle of all nations. We're live here at Albert Stadium. We're talking about the grounds of Nebi Primary, and of course, it's the home ground of team Hot Spring. We witnessed a friendly game in between Pajobi and, of course, the team Hot Spring, and it ended in favor of Hot Spring. Here with me, I have the coach. That is the team coach of team Hot Spring, Bona Adam. And Adam, I know you watched the game from the word go up to the end, and we saw your team getting two quick goals in halftime. In the end, like that, second half, it was all tough, balanced game towards the end. But of course, my question is, following the kind of players you had in your team, I saw lots of new players. I don't know if they're the new players of the team, or maybe they're on trial. Maybe you let somebody know who they are.
Well, thank you very much. By name Saddam Bidokuber, the coach of Hot Spring. Back to your question. We are yet trying to assemble our team, given the fact that we ended last season not on a good note. But we want, when the season kickstart, the new season, we want to be in the right shape for the game. Actually, the new boys you have seen, these are the guys who may come to us. We are yet working on their way of coming back. But now, I was not happy with the way how the game went, but now, still, that is how the thing is, because this is not yet how Hot Spring plays, but these are yet new boys. It is very hard to play new boys and to assemble them and to make them play the way you want. But above all, we are yet ready to assemble them, and we see how we are going to approach this coming season.
You played a side that is also promoted to the regional league. We're talking about Pajobi Independent, and you saw how your boys are performing today's game. Looking from the play, how do you judge your team coming next season? You said it clearly that last season wasn't the best season for you. Your team really struggled last season. You survived relegation so narrowly in there, and you saw how the boys performed today against a side who is also going to be in the regional league next season in Pajobi. How do you rate your team come next season?
I think basing from the past two performances, the first two games were against the first one was against by the Black Angel. That was at Barokoro. Again, they came back here. We played well. That's also a regional league club. Again, we have tried Pakwach. That is Pajobi. That's a newly promoted team. From the way I'm seeing, my teams are trying to come. I think we shall be good to go when we assemble this very team for the regional league that is coming up.
Thank you, coach. And of course, next time again, we keep in touch and we continue always coming to Daily Fix. And of course, we're talking about the podcast. Thank you so much for coming. And maybe your last word for your members of a team Hot Spring.
Well, to my team of Hot Spring, I think we are sending our cry to the management. Let them work hard and bring these boys so that we shall be also good to go in the regional league. Above all, to my players, I think we are coming back again here for another training session tomorrow, because we are lining up another big friendly of this sort so that we get the boys ready for the season to come.
Big one. That has been the coach of team Hot Spring in Adam. And of course, thank you so much for always being available for us. Whenever I call you, thank you for always standing back. And of course, we're back again talking big. Are we all aware that Pajobi Independent came all the way from Pokwash to town Nebi, and they managed to lose the game by 2-0 in favor of a team Hot Spring. These are all regional league sides. And of course, Pajobi is a very new side. Hot Spring has been in the game for quite some time. A level of pedigree will always account in football. And of course, that is the chapter close. We are well aware that there is another tough game coming over on a Sunday. That is when team at Navy Central will be taking on the Arua Hill. Many calls them the Congolo, and that's the team which is coming over to Navy. That is going to be a little bit hard to watch, but of course, that is a party in town. And of course, when Arua Hill is coming, it is always something big to watch. And leaving Arua Hill at that, we are well aware. You, the viewer, you are well aware that this week we are coming back talking big in what we call English Premier League. Many teams have been struggling in the beginning of the season. This is actually match day 4. Yeah, that is a week 4 in English Premier League. We are having a early kickoff tomorrow in between Manchester United and a team in Southampton. And of course, talking of Southampton and Manchester United, they've not been a very big threat to team Manchester United. We've seen Manchester United touching Southampton some time back, 9-0. The last game they played between the two, it ended in a draw 1-1. So that tells you clearly it is going to be a very big fight. But of course, with the morale boosting team of Manchester United, after picking a big win against a tough side in Liverpool, that tells you clearly Manchester is going in that game with some serious morale, and they have that boost. And again, there is a new player in the team. Many are calling him engineer. Many are calling him the engine. We're talking about the guy that is a Casemiro, who they just signed from team Real Madrid. I think Casemiro is going to make Manchester United come another tough team. And tomorrow, Manchester will kick off 2:30 with Saints. I believe the best team will take it out. But if you ask me to tell you which one will take it, I have a feeling Manchester United might go for that 3 points against the Saints. And leaving Saints, there is what we call a goal rush, which is still happening tomorrow in English Premier League. Many games are coming back tomorrow, late hour. We're talking about 5 p.m. There is a fixture in between a team Chelsea and team Leicester City. All those are struggling teams currently. When you look at team Chelsea, they played certain draw with team at Tottenham. Actually, the first game they played, they won it so narrow, winning it by a goal to nil. The second game, we saw Chelsea picking a draw 2-2 with team Tottenham. That was another talk of the day. And after that game with the team at Tottenham, we saw Chelsea crossing over, taking on certain leads, and of course, losing by 3-0. That tells you clearly Chelsea is lacking something in their backyard. Rumors keep coming around that team Chelsea are looking for defenders. We are aware that Leeds will come. The last time they lost against Leeds, that tough defender, a new defender in a Koulibaly, picking himself a red card. That tells you clearly there is something lacking at the defensive line of team at Chelsea right now. Many would be talking, how about Thiago Silva? But of course, Thiago Silva, you know the kind of age he's also going through, and injury seems disturbing him a little bit. But I have a feeling if they can only try a little bit of a Jaloba partnering him in the defensive line, maybe Chelsea can do something. But all I can tell you clearly, Chelsea and the team Leicester is going to be a very hard game to watch. And I must be forced to say, Chelsea looks like a team who might lose in that game against Leicester City. Leicester are looking for points, and they need to get that point against team Chelsea. So if you ask me which team is taking the win, I must be forced to say Chelsea might be losing against a team in Leicester. The second last game is going to be in between certain Liverpool, who is taking on a Bournemouth. Goal rush at 5. That's another game to talk about. Liverpool is another struggling side. A limping side is taking on a struggling side in Bournemouth. We also Bournemouth swallowing 4 against Manchester City. They came against Arsenal swallowing another 3. We saw Liverpool picking a draw against Fulham in the first game. The second game again, we saw Liverpool picking another draw. And again, against Manchester United losing, Liverpool are still looking for their first win of this season. That tells you it's going to be hard for them. After losing Sadio Mane, they brought in a striker in Darwin Núñez. But again, Darwin is another guy who is not actually on the play right now. He is still in suspension after actually picking that red card with that headbutt. He's going to miss 5 games. So far, he has missed only, I think, 2. And of course, more 3 games set for him to be missing, meaning they are lacking that services of a typical number 9 in their team. But I believe the guys are coming back from injury. Last time we saw against Manchester United, there was no Fabinho. He came from the bench. He changed the game a little bit later on. But I believe tomorrow against Bournemouth, he's going to start. And I have a feeling that Liverpool has to pick the maximum 3 points tomorrow against FC Bournemouth. Leaving a team Bournemouth and team Liverpool, a little bit of Manchester City, and of course a Crystal Palace. Talking of Manchester City, that is a Pep Guardiola, very experienced coach, and of course playing against a young coach in a Patrick Vieira. It's still very fresh, but I must tell you, Patrick Vieira is a big coach against Pep Guardiola. That is the game to watch. It looks like going to be a draw, but it's very hard to judge that game between the two. It is going to be a real tough game. Many might say about Arsenal and the team in Arsenal is playing a 7:30 against certain Fulham. That is a Mitrovic. Wow, against William Saliba. Big game to watch, but of course, a lot more about that game, which I'll talk tomorrow. But still, Arsenal are looking so good, and they might pick another win again against Fulham. All you should know, all eyes stands on low grounds. That is on Sunday. And of course, you catch me again next time on Sunday. That is when Harua Il will be taking on the team Navy Central at low grounds. My name remains Uncle Ram, Uncle of all nations. I'm not alone in this. I have my brother. That is Mas Manasa behind the camera. And of course, we do this for the people of West Nile and people of Uganda at large. We're talking about Daily Fix podcast. We talk football, nothing else. From me to you, I say bye-bye and adios.